What happens when you rip the beating, high-compression heart out of the world's most predatory American supercar and force it into a skeletal, metallic frame designed for only one purpose? In 2003, Chrysler unleashed a machine that didn't just push the boundaries. It ignored the laws of physics, engineering, and common sense entirely. This is the Dodge Tomahawk, a chrome-plated monster that remains the most controversial and polarizing concept in the history of two wheels. It was a declaration of war against the mundane, a high-octane middle finger to everyone who said a motorcycle had to be practical. It boasts 500 horsepower and 8.3 liters of displacement from a massive, roaring V10 engine. Theoretical top speeds suggested a terrifying reality that could exceed 400 miles per hour, a pace where the human body and machine become one with the air, and a single pebble could mean total disintegration. It looked like a kinetic weapon ripped from a high-budget sci-fi epic, yet it was a living, breathing mechanical nightmare built by the same hands that crafted the Viper. But why did this masterpiece never truly touch the open road or grace a dealership floor? Today, we open the high-security archives of Season 2 of Chrome Chronicles to dissect a legend that was too fast for the asphalt and far too wild for a world bound by safety regulations and corporate fear.at. The dawn of the millennium. Detroit was locked in a fierce power war, an era of excess where horsepower was the only currency that mattered. The engineers at Dodge decided it was time to end the debate forever by creating the ultimate predator. Instead of pursuing fuel efficiency, refined aerodynamics, or rider comfort, they looked at their flagship supercar, the Dodge Viper, and asked, "What if we just put a seat on the engine and called it a bike?" The result was an engineering fever dream that blurred the lines between automotive brute force and motorcycle agility. Design chief Trevor Creed famously envisioned a rolling sculpture, a piece of museum-quality art that moved with the violence of a thunderstorm. Every single component of the Tomahawk was meticulously custom-milled from massive, solid blocks of aircraft-grade aluminum. There is no plastic shroud here to hide the mechanics. There are no compromises made for mass production. It is 1,500 pounds of raw, unyielding metal polished to a mirror finish, a tribute to American industrial muscle at its most extreme and unapologetic. Each bolt was a choice, and each curve was designed to intimidate anyone standing in its path. The most striking visual element of the Tomahawk is its deceptive and radical wheel configuration. It mimics the sleek profile of a motorcycle, but it actually stands on four wheels arranged in closely coupled dual pairs, two in the front and two in the rear. This radical suspension system allowed the massive machine to lean into corners while maintaining a wide, menacing stance that mirrored a supercar's footprint. It was a complex mechanical ballet designed to keep 500 horses pinned to the ground while providing a visual symmetry that had never been seen before. Power is delivered through a simple two-speed manual transmission, but with over 500 foot-pounds of torque available at the flick of a wrist, shifting gears is almost an afterthought. One twist of the throttle, and the world behind the rider simply dissolves into a chaotic cloud of white tire smoke and the deafening, bone-shaking roar of 10 cylinders firing in unison. Yet, the legendary 400 miles per hour claim was where science met its match. Physicists quickly calculated that at such speeds, the absence of massive aerodynamic downforce would cause the air to lift the rider right off the seat like a leaf in a hurricane. It was a beast that even the bravest factory test riders were hesitant to push to its absolute, life-threatening breaking point. The Tomahawk was never intended to reach a mass production assembly line. It was built as a statement of dominance and a test of engineering courage, not a product for the consumer market. Eventually, Dodge offered a strictly limited run of 9 units through the high-end Neiman Marcus holiday catalog, priced at an eye-watering $555,000 each. Even for the wealthiest collectors, this was a purchase of pure prestige, a trophy to be displayed rather than a machine to be commuted on. There was, however, a significant legal catch that turned this monster into a ghost. Each unit was sold strictly as a non-street legal piece of automotive art. It lacked the basic requirements of the road: no headlights to pierce the night, no mirrors to see what it left behind, and no turn signals to communicate intent. It was a machine designed to be admired in a climate-controlled gallery, not ridden on a public highway. It remains the ultimate forbidden fruit, a motorcycle born with the raw soul of an outlaw, but destined to live its life in silence behind velvet ropes and security glass point 2 decades later. The Dodge Tomahawk stands as a chrome-plated monument to an era when engineers were encouraged to embrace the impossible and the insane. It serves as a permanent reminder that the only true limits in design are the ones we impose on our own imagination and the courage to build something truly revolutionary. It wasn't just a bike. It was a proof of concept for the outer limits of human engineering and a symbol of a time when we weren't afraid to be loud. This V10 monster is just the first ghost of our second season. And our secret garage is still full of unreleased legends waiting for their turn in the spotlight. Which forgotten masterpiece of the past should we resurrect next? Will it be the high-revving, 6-cylinder Suzuki Stratosphere or the adaptive, shape-shifting Yamaha Morpho? Maybe the turbine-powered machines that promised a jet-age future? The choice is yours. Let us know in the comments below and help us choose the next legend. Thank you for being part of this journey. Keep your spirit wild, your passion for the road burning, and we'll see you in the next chronicle of the world's most legendary and forgotten machines. The road never ends as long as we keep looking for what's over the horizon. Keep your spirit wild, and we'll see you on the road.